The world is a funny place, isn't it? Everyone wants to know everything about you, what you eat, where you go, what you dream about. People ask questions not because they care, but because they're curious. Curiosity isn't kindness. It's just a polite version of nosiness. And so, my friends, there are 5 things you should never share with anyone. There's a quiet strength in knowing things that no one else does. When you keep certain parts of your life private, you hold the reins of your own story. The world loves to pry, to pull pieces of you into the open, but the less they know, the less they can control. There's power in that silence, power in being a mystery. People often mistake openness for honesty, as if sharing everything makes you more genuine. But real honesty doesn't require you to lay your soul bare to everyone who asks. You can be truthful without being an open book. In fact, some truths lose their value the moment they're shared. They belong to you, and no one else has earned the right to take them. When you share too much, you give people a blueprint to your mind and heart. It's easy to be manipulated when others know what makes you tick, your dreams, your fears, your plans. They may seem supportive, but not everyone clapping for you wants to see you win. Some people only cheer because they're waiting for you to trip. Keeping parts of yourself private isn't about mistrust. It's about self-respect. Not everyone deserves access to you. Just as you wouldn't let strangers wander through your home, you shouldn't let them wander through your soul. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're doors that only open for those who deserve to step inside. The world moves fast, and people love to talk. When you tell someone something, you're not just trusting them. You're trusting everyone they might tell, too. And the truth is, most people can't resist a good story, especially when it's not theirs to tell. Once your secrets are out, you can't pull them back. They stop being yours. Privacy lets you control the narrative. It's the difference between walking into a room with quiet confidence and explaining yourself before anyone even asks. When people don't know everything about you, they can't prejudge you or hold your past against you. They only see what you choose to show them, and that gives you the upper hand. There's also peace in privacy. The less noise around your life, the clearer your mind becomes. When you're not constantly explaining, defending, or justifying yourself, you have more energy to focus on what truly matters. You're free to grow and change without the weight of other people's opinions dragging you down. Privacy doesn't mean isolation. You can still share laughter, love, and moments with people, but you get to decide which moments they see. It's the difference between inviting someone to dinner and giving them a key to your house. One is a welcome gesture, the other is an invitation for them to overstay. Not everyone's intentions are pure. Some people listen only to gather information they can use later, as leverage, as gossip, as ammunition. When you keep your cards close to your chest, you strip those people of their power. They can't twist your words if they never heard them in the first place. In a world where oversharing is the norm, privacy is a rare kind of strength. It's a quiet rebellion against a society that believes it's entitled to know everything. And the most powerful thing of all, watching people guess, assume, and speculate while knowing they'll never truly figure you out. Being alone is often misunderstood. People see someone by themselves and assume they're lonely, broken, or in need of saving. But being alone isn't a sign of weakness. It's a reflection of strength. It takes courage to stand on your own when the world tells you that your worth is measured by the number of people around you. There's a certain power in being comfortable with your own company. It means you don't rely on others to distract you from your thoughts or to fill an emotional void. When you can sit with yourself, truly sit with yourself without feeling restless or uneasy, you've reached a kind of inner peace that few ever find. Many people stay in bad company just to avoid being alone. They tolerate gossip, disrespect, even cruelty, all for the sake of not being by themselves. But walking away from people who drain you, even if it leaves you alone, is an act of bravery. It's choosing your own well-being over the comfort of familiarity. Being alone gives you the space to hear your own voice. In a crowd, it's easy to absorb everyone else's opinions, to lose track of what you really think and feel. Solitude strips away the noise and lets you rediscover who you are when no one's watching. It's in those quiet moments that you realize how strong you truly are. The world often glorifies the idea of belonging to a group, to a relationship, to a community. While connection is beautiful, it's not the only path to happiness. Some of the most remarkable people in history found their purpose in solitude. They weren't weak for being alone. They were unstoppable because of it. Strength isn't measured by how many people stand beside you. It's measured by how well you stand when you have no one to lean on. Being alone forces you to rely on yourself, to solve your own problems, comfort your own heart, and push yourself forward. It teaches you resilience in a way that constant companionship never could. There's a freedom in solitude that's often overlooked. When you're alone, you answer to no one. You make decisions based on what you truly want, not what others expect. You move through life at your own pace, without the weight of anyone else's judgment or approval. That kind of freedom is a strength in itself, and it's one most people are too afraid to embrace. Being alone also allows you to build a relationship with yourself, the one relationship that will last a lifetime. You learn your quirks, your desires, your limits. You become your own protector, your own cheerleader, your own friend. And when you know yourself that deeply, you stop accepting less than you deserve from others. The truth is, anyone can blend into a crowd. Anyone can find a group and follow along. But to stand apart, to walk alone and still hold your head high, that takes a rare kind of strength. It's easy to be brave when you're surrounded by people. It's much harder when you're the only one in the room. Being alone doesn't make you weak. It makes you self-sufficient, resilient, and powerful in ways that most people will never understand. And when the time comes that you do let people in, you won't need them to complete you. You'll want them to complement the person you've already become. That's not weakness. That's strength in its purest form. There's something undeniably captivating about a person who doesn't reveal everything. When someone holds back, leaving more unsaid than spoken, people can't help but lean in closer. Mystery pulls at human curiosity like a thread, making us want to unravel what's hidden beneath the surface. It's the unknown that keeps us fascinated, guessing and wondering. And that's where true power lies. When you keep parts of yourself a secret, you become unpredictable. People can't pin you down, label you, or assume they know your next move. That unpredictability creates an allure, a sense that you're more than meets the eye. It's human nature to want to solve a puzzle, and when you become that puzzle, you become unforgettable. Revealing everything about yourself might make you relatable, but it also makes you ordinary. The more people know, the less they wonder. The less they wonder, the less they think about you. Mystery keeps you living rent-free in their minds because they're drawn to what they don't understand. When you leave gaps in your story, their imagination fills them in, and often they imagine you grander than you really are. The world tends to overshare. People broadcast their every thought, move and meal. In a sea of constant noise, silence stands out. A person who keeps their life to themselves becomes rare, and rarity is valuable. When you're not easily accessible, you create the impression that you're worth the effort to figure out. Mystery also demands respect. When you reveal too much too soon, people assume they know everything about you. They stop looking deeper. But when you hold things back, they realize there's more to you than they initially thought. It shifts the dynamic. They start to feel like they need to earn the right to know you. There's strength in not explaining yourself. When you stay quiet about your next move or your personal life, you rob people of the chance to criticize or interfere. They can't ruin what they don't see coming. It leaves them guessing, and while they're busy guessing, you're already 10 steps ahead. Mystery doesn't mean dishonesty. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about understanding that not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, emotions, or plans. It's knowing which parts of you to share and which parts to guard like a treasure chest. After all, the most valuable things in life are always kept behind closed doors. People remember how you make them feel. When you're an open book, they feel comfortable, and comfort rarely leaves a lasting impression. But when you're a mystery, they feel intrigued. Intrigue keeps you on their mind, keeps them curious, keeps them coming back for more. Even in relationships, mystery keeps the spark alive. When you reveal yourself slowly, piece by piece, it keeps people invested. It's not about playing games. It's about pacing vulnerability. Letting someone discover you over time makes the journey more meaningful. The slow unraveling is what keeps the connection exciting, fresh, and alive. In the end, mystery is power. It's the art of making people want to know more without giving everything away. It's about leaving just enough in the shadows to keep the world watching, wondering, and waiting. And when you master that balance between what you show and what you keep hidden, you become unforgettable. There's a certain safety in keeping parts of your life hidden from the world. When people don't know your dreams, your fears, or your next move, they can't interfere with them. They can't ruin what they can't see. The most powerful things are often the ones that remain unspoken, protected from the noise and judgment of others. Sharing too much invites opinions, and opinions have a way of sneaking into your mind, planting seeds of doubt. People project their own insecurities onto you, telling you what's realistic, what's possible, and what you should give up on. But when you keep your plans to yourself, those voices never get a chance to weigh in. You get to build your life on your own terms, free from the limits of other people's fears. The world is full of envy, and not everyone wants to see you succeed. Some will smile to your face while secretly hoping you fail. Others will pretend to support you only to sabotage you when the opportunity presents itself. By keeping your victories, your progress, and even your struggles private, you take away their chance to interfere. Your silence becomes your shield. People can only weaponize what you give them. When you reveal too much, your vulnerabilities, mistakes, or regrets, it becomes ammunition in the wrong hands. The less they know, the less power they have. It's not about living in fear or mistrusting everyone. It's about understanding that not everyone deserves access to your most intimate truths. Privacy protects your peace. When the world doesn't know your every move, you're free to make mistakes without an audience. You can fail quietly, learn from it, and come back stronger, all without the weight of judgment or gossip. There's freedom in knowing that your setbacks belong only to you, not to the crowd waiting to see you stumble. Surprise is a powerful tool. When people think they have you figured out, they stop paying attention. But when you move in silence, you keep them guessing. They can't predict you, control you, or hold you back because they don't know where you're headed. And when you finally reveal your success, it's too late for anyone to stop you. There's also a deeper kind of confidence that comes with privacy. When you stop seeking validation from others, you learn to trust yourself more. Your decisions become clearer, your purpose stronger, because you're no longer bending to the expectations or judgments of people who don't understand your journey. You become unstoppable, not because the world approves, but because you no longer need it to. Some of the most successful people in history built their legacies in silence. They didn't announce their plans or ask for permission. They worked quietly and consistently while the world watched and wondered. By the time people noticed, the work was already done. The results spoke for themselves, and no one saw it coming. The truth is, not everything is meant to be shared. Some things grow better in the dark, away from prying eyes. Your dreams, your goals, your happiness. These are precious, and they deserve to be protected. The world has a habit of picking things apart, of finding flaws in even the most beautiful ideas. Keep what matters most close to your heart, and no one can touch it. In the end, your life is yours. The less the world knows, the more control you have over your own story. They can't ruin what they don't know exists, and they can't take what they never knew you had. Sometimes the greatest power is in the quiet, in the knowing smile of someone who holds their cards close while the rest of the world tries to guess the hand they're playing.